So let's say we're in the key of G, and I wanted to start improvising, right? So. I can start adding those in there. Hey everybody, Gary here with Guitar Tricks, and in this video I'm going to share with you 3 of my favorite double stops. A double stop is simply when you play 2 notes at the same time. That's really all it is. It's a weird word for that concept. I guess it makes sense, double means 2. A lot of times double stops though are 2 notes within a chord, and you can just play 2 notes and still get the effect of the full chord. So I'm going to share with you 3 of my favorite double stops. One is when you're doing pentatonic playing, and the other 2 are for diatonic playing, meaning when you're using a major scale or a minor scale. Before we get into the lesson, please help Guitar Tricks reach 100,000 subscribers by clicking that subscribe button and being sure to hit that bell so that you're notified anytime a new video is posted. Alright, so the first double stop I want to share with you is super easy to start incorporating into your playing. It's when we're playing in pentatonic. So let's look at shape 1 of the pentatonic scale in the key of A. Now what's great about the pentatonic scale is you have these notes that stack on top of each other. So I call this one pentatonic stacks. And all we do is just play through the scale in stacks. So if we start on this top note, what's right above it? This note. This one, right above it, this note. So then we get to this note. This one's right above it. This note, that one's right above it. So we have. And we can go through the whole scale like that. Right? So you can do things like. So it just adds a cool thickness and a little more sophistication to the sound. Now you could actually, if you look at the pentatonic scale across 2 strings, say the bottom 2 strings, and then here, mostly it's all a perfect stack right on top of each other. Here, it's not perfectly. But that's the only spot. So you can really do this top 2 strings. So I can go through the whole neck, and there's only just going to be that one that's not a perfect stack. Now I'm playing a hybrid picking right now where like I use the pick and my finger, but you don't have to do that. I mean, you can just pick through all of them. So the next one you could use as a way to play chords using just 2 notes, or anytime you're in the major or the minor scale, not pentatonic, and that is thirds. Let's say now we're in G major. Then we have G, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, and then back to G. And when we end up there is with the 1, 4, and 5 are major, the 2, 3, and the 6 are minor, and then the 7 is diminished. So we have 7 chords in a key, 1, 4, 5 major, 2, 3, 6 minor, 7 diminished. So to play effectively in thirds, it's helpful to know your scales across the guitar. So for instance, or kind of across two strings. Because then it makes it simple to play this double stop across the guitar, which sounds better and also is just easier to do. So starting on the 1 chord, we need a major third. And from the low E string, the way that we find a major third is go down 1 string and over 1 fret. Right? So there's our 1 chord, there's our G major. When we get to the 2 chord, we need a minor third. So we go down 1 string, back 2 frets. Then the next chord is minor, the 3 chord, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, 7 is diminished, but it's a minor third, and then back to 1. Cool, right? Now if we wanted to do that on the A string, it's the same exact thing. To do it on the D string, we find a G, same thing. Here's where it changes. If we went to the G string, and we'll use this G right here, we would stack them to get thirds. 1, 3, that's major third. Minor would be the same as major on the other strings. Then if we brought it to this G on the B string, back to the same as the others. Cool, right? So what's cool about that is you could just play a melody and it sounds like you're playing chords. So it's almost like in between chord soloing and single note soloing. So it's just a great way to spice things up. So let's say we're in the key of G and I wanted to start improvising, right? So I can start adding those in there. Another one is sixths. So sixths can actually be thirds, because if we take one note and we go down a sixth, that is the octave of going up a third. So you can use sixths in 2 ways. You can play the third below a note, or you could play the sixth above a note. And that looks like this. So if we start on G again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it's almost exactly the same. Instead of going down 1 over 1, we go down 2 strings over 1. The thing to keep in mind though with sixths is that you have a major 6 on the 2 chord. So on the 1, it's a major chord with a major 6. On a 2, it's a minor chord with a major 6. 3, minor chord, minor 6. 4, major, major. 5, major, major. 6, minor, minor. 7, minor, minor. 1, major, major. Starting on the A string root, same thing. Starting on a D string root, it changes. We've got the major on the same fret, so we have starting on the G string root, same as the previous one, they're stacked for major on the same fret. And that's it. So stacked, stacked, then major is over 1, and then major is over 1. Now, if we play that same interval, but we think of the note on top as the root, then it's really the third below and not the sixth anymore. So imagine we were playing a G major chord. We can play that same interval we did, but now what was the minor shape is a major third below. And then what was the major shape is now this is the root, and that's a minor third below, so it's reversed. And this is a great way to play chord tones during a solo. Like let's say you had a chord progression G to A minor. Right? You could do something like this. So here I am on the G. And then here comes the A minor. And then back to the G. Right? So I'm just isolating from these regular bar chords the note on the E string and the note on the G string. And that's the interval of a sixth or a third below the root. So now thinking of the note on top as the root, so soloing in G major. So those are the three double stops I like to use most in my playing: the pentatonic stacks, the thirds, and the sixths. I hope this lesson was helpful. If you want to learn more about all this stuff, head over to guitartricks.com. Again, please help Guitar Tricks reach 100,000 subscribers by clicking subscribe and tapping the bell so that you're notified of all the latest and greatest content. Happy playing, have fun with this, and I'll see you in the next lesson.